And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Hail Mary Sports Bar, right here on BearcatJournal.com. Hi, Aaron. Go
Rookie.
visit our good friends at Hail Mary's. They're located in Cheviot, right on Harrison Avenue. They're in the Dora District. You can walk from bar to bar with your drinks, or you can stay right at Hail Mary's. 27 TVs, a 9-screen video wall. There's not a bad seat in the house. They have every sports package that DirecTV offers. You can stream all the games, and Cincinnati sports will always be on the video wall. Brand new walk-in cooler, brand new draft lines. And guess what? Not only do they pour the coldest Cincy Light around, but they do so in 32.8 degree frosted glasses. All right, let's get this show on the road. A little bit of a late one. Aaron's all dressed up. He had stuff to handle today back in Cincinnati. How was the drive back through the snow? Did you get snow the whole way?
Look, I drove an hour and a half each way to Columbus today, and then I drove 2+ hours each way to Cincinnati. I should be south of Atlanta at this point, not here in Athens.
You should be almost to the beach by now. In one direction or another.
It's just dumb. Had to take care of some stuff. It was not the fun stuff that I had to go take care of in Cincinnati. Hope my brother-in-law and his family are doing as best as they can. That said, yeah, the snow was just annoying. Like,
right.
It's not enough to.
It's not sticking on the roads, so it's just annoying.
But it's on the overpasses, so you got to be careful there. So I'm like, anyway.
I hear you. All right, we got a couple things to get to today. We are going to do 3 keys, and then Wes Miller spoke to the media today. I was not there, so I will be relying on Aaron for. We played a little bit of it on the radio. The reason I wasn't there, I had radio for Mo today. Mo was off. So I'm going to rely on Aaron for my talking from Wes Miller's press conference today. But all right, let's get the show on the road. Aaron, 3 keys. Have at it.
I kept it about as simple as you can keep it. But my first key is throw the ball. Throw the damn ball. Figure it out. You've got playmakers. We've seen these dudes make plays all season long, except when they decided that they just weren't going to throw the ball anymore. So you have to give your guys the opportunity to make plays. And that's not just the guys who run the ball. You have to throw Xavier Henderson the ball. You have to throw Joe Royer the ball. These dudes will make plays. You have to give them the opportunities to do so. It's as simple as that. Number 2, clean the laundry. I don't know what the hell was going on last week with the offensive line. I don't know if there was ass smacking happening. I don't know what was going on. Let's figure that out too. Because if you have to go silent, then go silent. You don't have to do the clap. Contrary to popular belief, you don't have to do the clap.
Right.
That's a whole different conversation too. In any case, just figure it out. You cannot have 7 false starts or whatever and end up being, and the rest of the stuff should take care of itself. The third thing, do something, do anything special. By that, I mean largely special teams, but it could be anything else as well.
A pick six,
like anything. Something. I feel like the stick figure poking the one on the ground with the stick, saying do something.
Look, it's crazy. It feels like the only person that's done anything special in like a month is Evan Pryor.
Yes. Well, and that's not to take anything away from Corey Kiner, who seemingly does not get tackled in the back.
He's a grinder. We're talking about hitting a
home run,
hitting
a home run instead of playing small ball, single. You've got to do something. You will not win another game the rest of the season if you are unable to do something special. So please, special teams, specifically you, but everybody else can also do special things. I promise. I told you.
This is like old Aaron. You're like angry tonight.
I had a lot of time to think about a lot of things while being on the road today.
That's what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
7
yeah,
plus
about 8.
Almost 8 hours on the road.
Roughly 8 hours. I'll give you 8 hours.
Some of you work full-time jobs. I drive today. Ugh.
All right, here we go. No Route 66. They passed for 66 yards
Yes.
against Iowa State. And look, I've driven out west a couple times. I've been to Manhattan, Kansas. Actually, funny story, Aaron. When I was in my 20s, one of my best friends was in the Navy, and he was getting married, and he had been gone for like 3 years. He had been gone for like 3 or 4 years. He had left his car at his mom's house when he went into the Navy. So what he wanted for his wedding present was for me to drive his car from his mom's house to Vegas, where him and his wife were getting married. So that was my wedding present to him. On the way, we stopped in Manhattan, Kansas for some reason one night and had dinner and hung out in Manhattan, Kansas, got a hotel, woke up in the morning, and then went to the rest of the way to Vegas. No Route 66, because if you're on Route 66, I took Route 66 when I moved to LA. It doesn't take you anywhere near Manhattan, Kansas. Don't throw for 66 damn yards in a game.
Throw the ball.
It was a long setup for pass for more than 66 yards. Atrocious. Key to victory number 2. I actually left that blank because I don't know. Actually, I know exactly why I left it blank. I was going to make a punny joke about Goldilocks and the 3 bears, but I couldn't come up with anything that I thought fit, and then I forgot to go back and do it. You got to stop Avery Johnson. He is not running the ball. Dave talked about this last night. He was running the ball a lot at the beginning of the season. It has decreased as the season has gone along. He is an okay passer. Not too
hot, not too cold, but just right.
He's just right. He's an okay passer. Where they beat you is him also being able to extend plays with his legs. And you've got to keep him from doing that, because as that has decreased, Kansas State's productivity on offense and their ability to outscore teams has also decreased. So come up with whatever punny line you want to here about Goldilocks. And then 3 is the same as last week, field position. They're getting their ass kicked the last 2 weeks in field position, which we know they can win this battle. They were number 2 in the nation in field position like 3 weeks ago, a month ago. And now the last 2 weeks, they have just gotten absolutely dominated in starting field position. Whether it's punting or returns, kickoffs, kick returns, getting it in the end zone on kickoffs, not get you name it, whatever they have done has been a disaster in terms of where you start. And this team's not good enough to overcome that regularly. They're not okay. We'll take it at the 5. Doesn't matter. We're going to go down and score. This team's not good enough for that. They need to start at their own 40. And they need the other team to start at their own 22. That would be great.
What's that look like?
I forgot. All right.
Let's talk about talking.
You got me worked up. Now I'm worked up, and I totally forgot the second slide. So
way to go.
Go ahead. Talking Wes Miller.
So Dan is ahead of schedule. Now we'll get a little bit more to that later on. Northern Kentucky was incredibly physical, and Wes was extremely displeased in that aspect for Cincinnati, largely the rebounding. CMOS has all of the staff's confidence shooting from anywhere. It does not matter where, and he has
the
earned
other
that
team's
freedom.
Bench. Shoot it from there.
He has earned that freedom. So Wes went on to say essentially what some people, and he almost, I think he held himself back from saying like layman's or casuals. But if you think it's not a good shot, if CMOS is taking it, it's probably a good shot. He's not out here just taking bad shots.
Right. He's not taking 18 shots a game. He's taking 8.
We have seen that in recent. We've seen that in recent years out of some players. I'm not going to name names this show, but anyway, said that Georgia Tech has built continuity. We know what that's like. They did well in the transfer portal, and Damon Stoudemire, aka Mighty Mouse, is a great coach, and Wes has all the respect in the world for him. This team values pace, but they value great shots more. So when people are looking up analytics and talking about how Cincinnati apparently is not anywhere near what the top of the analytics say pace of play is, Wes likes the pace that they're playing at. I don't understand how a team that's averaging over 80 points is not high on pace of play, but I digress. But at the end of the day, Wes wants great shots. So they're going to figure it out. They're going to push when they need to push to find those great shots, or they're just whatever it is, they're going to find the great shots. They're worried less about the pace, but they do value pace. Day-Day's role will be as good as last year, if not better, according to Coach Wes Miller. I'm interested to see what that looks like.
That would have to mean more minutes for him at the 2, because Chisel has also earned an increased role. So that means you're going to play him together, or you're going to play.
He talked about that
one.
too.
I like,
we'll get to that. Said that depth will be a strength of this team again, as they kind of salivated at back when we played Ohio State, which he mentioned felt like just so long ago.
Eon ago, yeah.
If they're able to get everyone healthy, it will be a strength again. And Day-Day and Jizzle are certainly going to see time together. There's not a world where that exists with this team without them seeing time together on the floor. CJ Frederick, poor CJ Frederick. He tweaked his ankle diving on a loose ball, which coach said was a big play, as they were able to create a turnover on it and gain possession of the ball. He is TBD. So currently day to day, poor kid can't catch a break
at all. I feel a little bit better about him having a little bit of time to get back right now that Day-Day is back. Without Day-Day, like, you needed CJ Frederick. Now you can let him ramp back up a little bit.
Just wild.
It doesn't sound major, but it's I can't imagine.
I mean, when coach says tweaked an ankle, it's not.
Yeah,
he's not been seen on crutches. He's just
right.
They're figuring it out, and it's day to day. Said that this team values the same things every day. So pace of play, running, being aggressive but unselfish, and offensive boards. Those are kind of your core values for this team, and they're going to keep figuring it out. Dan is week to week and will be a process. So he was asked if Dan was going to be available by the crosstown shootout. He said, I don't know. I don't know he said, I don't even know when the next game is after Georgia Tech. I'm so focused on Georgia Tech. I'm still out of breath from running here because I've been in meetings, setting up practice for Georgia Tech. I don't even know when our next game is after Georgia Tech. So
I believe him on that. Like, I don't think this is like Luke Fickle, I live under a rock. I genuinely do think, like, when he gets to this part of the season,
hyper focused on just what the next game is. That's
it. Then they get on the plane, or the game's over, and then
get out the iPad.
Who do we play
Who's next? Right.
Yeah. I do genuinely believe him on that.
Said that Tyler Betsy, Arlington Page, and Rayvon Griffith will all develop better the more minutes they get. And obviously, when you have the injuries that they've had, these three guys in particular are benefiting from extended minutes. Now, of course, you wonder, why didn't Rayvon get any minutes in this last game? But that's because you had extended minutes from CMOS. You had Josh Reed, who had earned the defensive player of the game from the team 2 games ago, and he had earned a little bit more because of that. So because Josh Reed was getting some extended time, because CMOS was getting some extended time, I'm sure the score had a little bit to do with that as well. You don't want to necessarily throw guys who are developing into a situation like that, as you want to continue their development. So those are the 3 guys they want to find minutes for to increase their development. That way they are ready come January, February, as you get into conference play. But he did specifically talk about trying to find and carve out those minutes. And of course, he did rave about how Arlington Page has kind of grabbed that opportunity by the horns, and he's impressed the team. So
for sure.
He also said that aggressive mistakes, this is how we finished, aggressive mistakes or turnovers will not get you yanked. This is not your Mick Cronin Bearcats. Just saying. He did say footwork turnovers, passing turnovers are controllables. So you have to make sure that those are not the type of turnovers that you are creating. But he mentioned Jizzle James specifically. If he's, doing one of the things that he excels at and trying to drive to the hoop, kind of putting his head down, a la Jaron Cumberland, something like that. If he turns the ball over in that type of manner while being aggressive, this is not anything coach is going to be upset about. So you kind of just have to figure out how and why you're turning the ball over. And if it is a controllable thing, an errant pass, just dribbling it off your foot, something stupid, those are the things they're upset about. But
remember, I think 2 games ago, Stemos was on one of those heaters where he had hit a couple threes in a row, and he took one of those 35-foot, logo, I'm going to hoist it up threes and missed.
Yeah.
That would have made Mick Cronin literally have a panic attack.
Well,
and I don't think Wes even flinched.
Drive the 275 loop.
Right.
As he used to do.
So, right. So he's dead on there. Like, you've earned that shot. You can take it. I'm not going to get mad about it. But if you're not doing the other things, then we'll have a conversation.
Even when he's taking those shots, though, it's not because he's just throwing something up, or at the end of a shot clock or anything. It's because he's wide open and he's capable.
And he's hit a couple already where he's, again, I asked him kind of joked about it because you can see with him when it happens where he just the basket looks like this to him.
He said as much after the game. He said the second half especially, it was the rim looked bigger.
Right.
We know. We
So
saw.
Let him shoot it.
Well done, sir.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Anything else? All right. Well, that'll do it. Bearcats at Georgia Tech, 2:00 Saturday in basketball, in football, 8:00 Saturday night against Kansas State. Going to be a busy weekend. We'll be here with it all, letting you know what happened and why. This is the Nightcap, brought to you by Hail Mary Sports Bar, live from the Cincy Light Studios here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!